You are listening to the Fairways and Fundraising podcast, powered by Golf Event Planning, discussing charity fundraising and successful golf outings, along with tips and tricks of the trade. Now here's your host, Larry Battaglia.
Hello, and welcome to Fairways and Fundraising, powered by Golf Event Planning. I'm your host, Larry Battaglia. This is episode number 8, and today we're happy to have a good friend of ours at Golf Event Planning from the Bricklayers, Allied, and Craft Workers Local 1 and their golf outing. I know this gentleman now for about 13 years. It's one of the biggest, best golf outings on Long Island. The vice president of BAC Local 1, Bricklayers and Allied Craft Workers Local 1, Tony LaCava. How you doing, Tony?
Good, Larry. Glad to be here.
So, Tony, like I said, you and I, we go back now about 13 years. I remember when we first started working with you, your outing was at Inwood Country Club down in the Five Towns area. You came to me and you said, wow, I have a pretty big outing. And that was back then with about 160. And now you're continually growing the event, about 240 golfers plus, and dinner guests. I mean, it's one of the biggest and most incredible golf outings that I know of. But how did you get started doing this for the union?
Well, tell you the truth, we started, this will be our 19th year coming up. We had gone to quite a few golf outings through the union for charities and events. And BAC Local 1, New York, has always been involved with Muscular Dystrophy Association for about 25 years. So after going to a few events, we figured that maybe possible we could run a golfing event and generate some money for the Muscular Dystrophy Association, but also set up a union scholarship fund for our members' kids or grandkids for their college. As you know, college is very expensive nowadays.
Yeah, no doubt. And that is a good thing. And I'm sure you've raised a lot of money over the years with such a great event. What's the tie to the Muscular Dystrophy Association?
Well, to be honest with you, that happened before I came on in 2000. Our former president was involved with it, along with our current president, who was Secretary-Treasurer at the time, Jerry Sullivan. And it was a charity that they picked to help out. And we started going to camps in the summertime out on Long Island and being very involved with muscular dystrophy back then. And the relationship just grew and grew. And the golf event helped us raise our level of contribution to them through the years.
That's great. And Jerry Sullivan is the president of BAC Local 1. How long has he been president now?
Jerry's been president 9 years. He's been secretary-treasurer prior to that for 13 years. So he's been one of the top two positions for 22 years.
That's great.
Yeah, he's been involved with every golf outing starting in 2001, but he also was involved with the MDA prior to that.
Yeah, and you could tell because every year at the golf outing when he gets up there and gives his speech, and then we bring up the family, which we're going to talk about shortly. We bring up the family. I mean, he doesn't have a dry eye when they come up. I mean, it's definitely a feel-good moment, and really, you can see how you're trying to give back and trying to help with this fundraising effort, this golf outing.
Yeah, our main concern is, like I said, we want everybody to have a great day, which we seem to have. We have tremendous sponsors, most of which have been with us since day one and continue to contribute. Again, we're in the construction industry, so there are highs and lows to every year. But through it all, through the recession, they've maintained their contribution and have allowed us to actually increase scholarships as well as our contribution to muscular dystrophy over the last 19 years, which really says something about the people that we have supporting us.
Approximately how much have you raised over the years? I mean, I've been with you now 13 years. Like you said, you're going into the 19th year. The golf outing this year is at the Glen Oaks Country Club on August 10th, 2020, at the Glen Oaks Country Club, which is the elite of elites, want to play this great track. But how much money would you say approximately you've raised so far?
I believe we're in excess of $1 million.
That's amazing.
Yeah, but like I said in the beginning, it started out slow, but we figured out, what we were doing, and the contributions got better and better, and we've been able to do that every year consistently. And like I said, not the exact number, but we're in excess of $1 million over the 19 years.
Well, like you said, it goes back to your sponsors and their support, and every year you can rely on them, and they really stand behind you and Jerry and the BAC Local 1 golf outing, which is amazing. But, obviously you give them a great day, and, it's something that they look forward to every year. It's a great networking event. It's just a great day out of work that guys can get together for a great cause.
Yeah, and you know what it is? A lot of our contractors are self-made guys and women. They're very generous by nature. They have a soft spot for any charity, and they just continue to give. And also on the flip side, as I spoke about, Jerry Sullivan is the president and Jack Argilla is the secretary-treasurer. And it's kind of my job to go to these guys and say, listen, I think we could improve it with this and this. And, in the middle of February, when the money's not coming in, sometimes it's a reach to say, okay, let's put a little bit more money in the golf outing. Hopefully we'll be able to get back more money. But time and time again, whether it's the giveaway or the raffle prizes, they've stepped up and said whatever we can do to make it better. And they have every time. And you can see how it is with the sold out outing for 19 years now.
Yeah, you're right. It is sold out. And a big reason for that, it's the giveaway. It's the raffle. It's one of the best raffles I've ever seen in any golf outing. I mean, you're giving away 30, 40 TVs. It's insane.
Yeah, I think we've covered the market on TVs. How that all started was we used to go to quite a few outings, and they sold raffle tickets. And at the end of the day, after you play, you see the prizes that were standing behind the microphone, and you said really it wasn't much there. We always felt that giving the people who paid for these big sponsorships a chance to win some decent prizes, as opposed to a golf T-shirt or a golf umbrella, would bring them back. They would be more willing to spend raffle money. So we took a chance, like I said in the beginning, where we really went heavy with the raffle prizes. And we felt when we were playing in somebody else's outing, the two main things we looked forward to was the gift when you check in, and
first impression.
Yeah, really big. And at the end of the night, you'd be willing to pay for raffle prizes if there was something up there you really wanted. And that's what we try to do. It's a vast variety of stuff, trips and such, as you know. The raffle, the amount of money that we collect on the raffle per day, that day of the event is extraordinary. But we do give out, like you said, quite a bit back.
Yeah, and, it's that fear factor of going and spending, hoping that you're going to make it back. I think really event organizers have to embrace that you need to spend a little bit of money for the gifts to be worthwhile and valuable. The golfers and the dinner guests, they'll buy more raffle tickets, I think, because the prizes are better.
Yeah, we've seen that, and we don't really get any gifts given to us. We actually go out and purchase them.
Yeah, it's a lot harder nowadays than it used to be.
Right, but the thing is, we kind of know what our clientele likes and what they look forward to. Again, that goes back to Jerry and Jack being able to say, this is going to make it better. We've tweaked this outing every year. There's always something you can do to make it a little bit better, or something you did that you don't think will work out next year. But I think it's important that every year you take away from the outing and see how you can kind of improve it if possible.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously you, Jerry, Jack, great guys, and all embrace that same philosophy. And I think it's important. Speak about the giveaways. I mean, you every year you're always giving something new, something different away. You've given away golf shoes. You've given away sunglasses. You've given away jackets, great swag at your event.
Yeah, we just try to give away something that kind of unique, and everybody who knows who's been involved with golf outings and goes to 4 or 5 a year, you kind of run out of things to give away. Or, you might go to an outing and the same thing's given away 2-3 times a year. So we try to look outside the box, try to give away, something that people can wear, good quality, or golf shoes, or we're doing some Nike 10 events sometime. Anything
that's always great. The golfers get to choose what they want.
Right. And that was another thing too. We give them a certain amount to spend inside the tent. Right then and there, you're giving somebody options. And I think that's important. So they don't have to get the one black golf shirt that you're giving out, or white golf shirt, so they could spend their money the way they want. And if not that, we try to go a little bit outside the box with a gift that somebody, would really look forward to having.
And the thing about that too, Tony, is there are costs involved. But over the years, you've had to increase the cost per golfer or some of the sponsorships to cover what you're spending. And, it's worked because, you're going to better venues. You provide the giveaway, the great raffle, and these golfers are not missing the event. They're marking it on their calendar in January, and the thing is sold out by March or April because of it.
Yeah, I mean, the funny part is that I'm a little bit of a compulsive guy, so I try to get everything out early, and we always have
you have to. That's when the sponsors have the money.
Yeah, and we have a due date, and usually, to be honest, within a month before the due date, everything's sold out. But like I said, we've had people that have been the same breakfast, dinner, major sponsor for the last 10, 15 years. As great as I said Jerry and Jack are with spending into the outing, that's as great as the contractors and the asset managers and other people we deal with. They just want to know when the next outing is. And usually if we can, we do announce it at the end of the outing for the prior year. So people already know. And we start to get stuff out early. We'll start doing that next month, even though the outing is in August. But it gets everybody the heads up, helps us get a jump start on it.
Yeah, it's a must. You have to attend this golf outing. Again, it's August 10th at the Glen Oaks Country Club in Old Westbury, Long Island, New York. So, Tony, you have this great event. We talked about the sponsors are coming back every year, really supporting the cause and helping financially. You have the great raffle that you do every year, which, it takes us an hour and a half to hand out all the prizes, because there's so many great items for these men and women to go home with. But there's other things that you do, too, to help raise money. Like you do a pre-event raffle every year, a box raffle, a box board you sell for $100 a box, and you also give away 2 Pebble Beach trips. How about those things?
Yeah, well, that's one of the things, obviously, when you got involved. I think you came on board with us back in 2008. Time goes fast, but
it does.
I always believed that there was only a certain amount of money that could be made from the day of the event.
That is true. People budget a certain amount of money going into the day.
Right. So I felt, and some of this took place when we started to go to a different golf course and the fee for the golfer increased, that we spoke about it ourselves, that if we could somehow have a couple of pre-raffle events where people started to give money earlier, that would help us have peace of mind that we'd be able to get more money in and afford the costs in a different venue and better venues. We've been able to do that. Like you said, we have a raffle box that's actually 200 boxes we sell at $100 a box. And basically that turns out to be a 50-50 for the charity, which helps us out. We also, over the last, I believe, 4 or 5 years, have offered Pebble Beach trips out through someone you knew, Larry. What that is it's a golfer's dream out. All expense paid trip to Pebble Beach.
Who doesn't want to play Pebble Beach?
Yeah, I mean,
come on.
We've given it out every year, and I've actually gotten calls, or Jerry or Jack's gotten calls from the person who's won it and said it was the trip of a lifetime. I know when you watch it on TV, because the PGA plays out there every year, it's supposed to be extraordinary. And you get to play all 3 courses. You stay at the lodge. We include round trip airfare. Spyglass
and Spanish Bay.
Right, as well as the Pebble course. We include airfare, and what we do with that type of raffle is we only offer 150 tickets, but we give away 2 individual trips, and each trip is for 2 people. Again, it's $100 a raffle, but there's only 150 people going in, and that usually gets sold out prior. But again, if you do the math, it works out to a 50-50 for us as well. So between those 2 things, we're actually in good shape prior to even starting anything else on the outing, and that's what we've done over the last 4 or 5 years to increase our take-in.
A great thing about that, too, the event's sold out, but you can still contribute, or you can still get into this raffle, this Pebble Beach raffle, or the box raffle for the cash that you're talking about, where, you can buy these tickets well in advance. Even if you can't make the event, it's a great way to support the cause, but also have a chance to win a great trip or win cash.
Yeah, both of those contributions, you don't have to be at the event. In fact, last year, the person who won the $5,000 prize wasn't at the event. But again, we're dealing with business people, and sometimes they're traveling or out of town that time, or, their kids could be graduating. Everybody's got a life, but they still want to support the cause. It's a way to still help the charities and the scholarship fund without being present if they can't be there.
Yeah, I think that's really important. And I know you advertise that is you don't have to be present to win those prizes.
Right. And I think it's good that we've actually had winners who weren't present, because it proves the fact that, listen, it is what it is. If your number comes up and your name's there, whether it's $100 or $5,000, if you're entitled to it, you get it. I think that's important for people when they get into something like that, knowing that past winners haven't been there. But obviously there are people who were there and won as well. But it doesn't preclude you from winning anything if you're not there.
Yeah, everything's legit. And even that day, you do a 50-50 also. Right. And you also advertise that day and announce it that if you win that 50-50, 50% of that money is your money, and you take home whatever you're entitled to, and that you don't want the pressure of having them give it back because you raise so much money. But if people know that they're not going to be forced to give a portion or all of that money back, I think you might sell more raffles that way, sell more 50-50s.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer, as well as Jerry, Jack, and the rest of us, that if you win something and you put your money out, you're entitled to it. And there are some events where you feel that you have to give back. I mean, our feeling is if you win something and you want to go home that night and write a check from your own bank account, that's your own personal business. But we don't expect anything back from the charity. We raise enough money the day of the charity. We feel that whoever wins the prize keeps it for themselves, or if they want to give it to another charity or the same charity a different day, that's something that should be done away from the event, not with the pressure of the event around you feeling you have to give back something that, maybe you weren't ready to do.
So at the event, speaking of the Muscular Dystrophy Association, you have a family that's very close to you, Jerry and Jack, and BAC Local 1, the Stubing family. Unfortunately, they are dealing with disease of MDA, muscular dystrophy. They have two sons now, only one son, one has passed on. When you met them, obviously, they had both children had the gene. So Michael Stubing is still with us, and he comes every year, and God bless him, he's in a wheelchair, and it's just a great moment. You usually give him definitely recognition, but there's usually some type of past athlete, a celebrity in the audience that might sign a jersey for him or give him tickets or something just to make him feel great for a moment. I just think it's a special moment that we have at the golf outing. Can we talk a little bit about the Stubings, what great people they are and what they're going through?
Sure, it'd be my pleasure. I mean, you start off with a family like that. You start off with the parents. They had some hardships in their life. Both sons are afflicted with the disease. One, as you said, has passed away.
This is basically what we call a gut check. I mean, we all deal with things in our life, but obviously some people have to deal with a much larger issue, and this is something that this is why we do what we do, right? Helping charities and helping people. We're trying to make a difference.
Yeah, and like I said, they're a local family that we probably know since 2009 or 10, and they were young boys when they came to the outing. And they both spoke. Ryan was a little bit older, so he spoke every year about how thankful they were with whatever we gave them, and always had cutting edge, medicine coming out with hope. And for anybody who's afflicted with any disease, that's the biggest word, hope.
And financially, it's a major burden.
Yeah, I mean, this is a guy who, the father and the mother, who have the responsibility of raising two children with all the medical needs. It's just impossible. But the family is outstanding. They have since moved upstate. Unfortunately, we lost Ryan a few years ago, at which time...
How old was Ryan approximately?
I believe Ryan was 24, 25 years old.
Yeah, that's amazing. And again, they both sons were born, and, at an early age, they looked like, right. They were healthy, and it's something that over time, it takes over your body, and there's a progression, really, downward spiral, if you will.
And at the time he passed away, we decided, Jerry, Jack, and myself, and the rest of the committee, that we actually renamed the tournament the Ryan Stubing Memorial Tournament, which it still maintains today. And even though they've moved upstate, which is probably a 5-6 hour drive, they come every year like clockwork. I always check in over the winter and see if everybody's still okay. But they make it down every year.
Which is amazing.
Yeah, and they wouldn't miss it for the world, and we wouldn't want it any other way. And Michael, when he takes over the microphone for that 1 or 2 minutes, like I said, you have businessmen, businesswomen, professionals, but everybody's a parent, and he just brings the house down. Everybody knows that day that what they're doing and what they're contributing to, they see right in front of them. It's greatly appreciated by everyone.
Yeah, that's so important. I mean, we've been talking about the entertainment and the excitement of the event, but when you can bring them to tears and to laughter, it's really a full day for the guests, and it's memorable, and it brings you back to why you're supporting this great cause and why you guys are going through this effort. I mean, these golf outings are not easy to run. They're not easy. There's so many moving parts, but they can be so very rewarding, not only financially, but personally gratifying as well.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say it enough. BAC Local 1 New York is blessed to have the vendors and the companies that help us. We've actually become a family, the golf outing family. Some of these people have been with us 18, 19 years. They've seen the Stubing boys from the 10 years old up into their 20s. So it's almost like a reunion once a year. You get that family atmosphere, and that's really what it's become now. It's a big family, and everyone looks forward to it. And like you said, it is a tremendous amount of work, but it's all worth it at the end of the day when everybody has a good time and you continue to raise money for a charity as well as the scholarship fund, which we help our own members' children better educate themselves.
Well, I could tell you Golf Event Planning is very happy to be involved and be part of that family you're talking about for the last 13 years, and watched it grow and helped the event grow is just something we're proud of. But speaking of great times and laughter, you always have a comedian at the event. Chris Monty has been a go-to comedian of yours for years. That's how I met Chris. And, sometimes he can't make it, but I know he's always top of your list.
Yeah, Chris is another great guy. Actually, we met him at a comedy club out on Long Island.
Yeah, we had him on the podcast about a month ago.
Okay. He was very funny, and we had approached him about helping us out if he would be able to.
Yeah, he's very down to earth,
yeah.
And he loves doing these things for charities.
Right. I mean, he gave us his contact information, and we've had him now for 6-7 years. And again, he is a good-hearted man and very funny. The crowd loves him and actually looks forward to him. He's become a focal point of the event at night.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about, it's a golf outing and everything, but, there's really a nice dinner element that you bring the comedian in. You have the great raffle. We have Michael Stubing speak. Jerry addresses the crowd. And you also have a Frank Sinatra impersonator during cocktail hour. A little music. I think that's also an added element that people appreciate.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of people that tell me it's a wedding with golf clubs. But, it's just something that over the years, we've been to different outings or something we thought was missing. And during cocktails, it's just nice for everybody to chill out and relax. It's been a long day. The impersonator, who comes from the Bronx, is tremendous. And
he is great.
He sets an atmosphere at the cocktail hour. And then everybody goes inside, and we have a little fun first, laugh, and get serious about the event, and then go back to having some more fun. So it's a lot of fun after the golf is done, and another part that we look forward to doing. And the country club's magnificent for anybody who's never been there before. I've had like 2 points, so we've had 2 points when we started this. The 2 moves we made, one from leaving Inwood to go to a bigger club for a couple of years, and then 2 years ago we came over to Glen Oaks. They've done everything possible and more. I know the general manager, Jeff, and the chef there, Steve. They've done everything to make everybody's day perfect. Golf-wise, it's second to none. And as far as the food and the service, we have gotten nothing but compliments for the last 2 years. And this will be our 3rd year going forward, and hopefully we'll be there for a long time to come.
That's right. And like you said, a bigger club. Glen Oaks has 27 holes, so you're able to get more than 200 golfers out there on the golf course without slowing down play, probably playing about 5.5 hours, which is about standard for a golf outing. But yeah, the food, the service, everything is great at Glen Oaks. Jeff, his team there do a great job, but the golf course is always spectacular. They call it the Augusta of the Northeast. I mean, Craig Currier and his staff, amazing what they do there. The place is always impeccable. You guys appreciate it. The golfers that come, they may not be serious, but it's a special day that they really appreciate a great golf course. And maybe they're going to practice a little bit, before the event because they want to have such a memorable experience out there on the golf course.
Yeah. As I've said before, it's incredible. Actually, the 2017 Northern Trust was held there, PGA event.
That's right.
We have all ranges of golfers. I mean, we have guys that are very good golfers and guys that just want to get out. But it really affords something for everyone. And the serious golfer just loves the course. There are people, as soon as I tell them where the course is, they want to play it. It's really kept well. And we couldn't be more happier with our new partnership with Glen Oaks.
Yeah, again, the golf outing is August 10th at the Glen Oaks Country Club. We hope you like this episode. Please remember to subscribe, rate, and review. We appreciate it. So going back to 2008, when you and I met, I'll never forget it. It feels like it was yesterday, believe it or not. You were working, obviously it was quite a few years with the golf outing, 7 or 8 or something like that. Now going into your 19th year. But you were working with somebody else prior to, and then we met in 2008.
Right, yeah. We started in 2001, and we had a planner who was helping us a little bit because, like I said, we started this cold. We didn't know anything about it other than participating in golf events.
Well, you certainly know what you're doing now.
A few bumps, but we've gotten there. And we put a lot of effort into it before time, and I like to be hands-on. I'm not a committee guy that,
You really have to be. I mean, to make these things successful, it's ongoing. It's a continuous effort.
Yeah, and we were maybe a bit naive in the beginning. We were all going to play golf that day, and we all got to the first hole, and the cell phones rang, and we realized that the event can't be run the right way that way. In any event, after 5 or 6 years, we really weren't happy with where we were going with the guy we were working with. Someone had mentioned you to me, and we were still at Inwood Country Club, came aboard, and I believe we fine-tuned it there and came up with some innovative ideas and got it rocking and rolling. And fortunately for us, but unfortunately for Inwood, the event just got too big, and we had to go to a bigger golf course. And at the time, we were a little bit leery of that because it's a bigger commitment.
Yeah, financially as well.
And we were at 160 golfers, and when you go to a 9-hole course, for anybody who runs it, you want to be able to have at least 200, 210 guys.
A 27-hole club.
Right, yes, sorry.
Yep.
But, that's having another 8, 9 foursomes. And
right, your minimum is higher. I mean, they demand that you require 140, 160 golfers minimum.
And, you discussed with us that you felt that we had the clientele to make that move, and we did, in fact, do it. And actually, we made more money for the charity and the scholarship fund by doing that. And again, we had a decision to make 3 years ago. This opportunity came up with Glen Oaks. We felt it would be, again, like we said, every year trying to figure out a way to tweak it and make it better. And we knew that this club was one of the best on Long Island. We again made the move with some apprehension because, as I say, when you're with a club a while, you know everybody there and you feel comfortable. But Jeff
you know how things work, you know how they operate. There's great communication there. But, change is good. It definitely is. I think the golfers do appreciate that. They're playing different clubs now. Maybe a club that they cannot get on.
Right. And that's the truth. I don't think many people could get on this club unless they were invited by a member. But again, Glen Oaks did a fabulous job with Jeff and Steve and the whole staff, making us feel comfortable from, day one. This will be our 3rd year there. I feel like we've been there 10 years already because it's just an email here or a call there and everything gets done the right way. And, your company, Larry, along with Christine and the rest of the staff, have done an exceptional job helping us navigate through a couple of different golf courses and continue to make it better. And the end result is raise more money for the scholarship fund and the Muscular Dystrophy Association, which is what we did in the first place to start all this.
Well, I'll tell you, for us, we're definitely proud to be involved for many years now, but it's a fun day for us too. I mean, there's a lot of stress the day of the event and working the event and making sure everything is orchestrated and coordinated correctly. But we're always buying raffle tickets. I mean, you got the best raffle around. And, last year we walked away with a 65-inch TV and about $500 gift certificate in the pro shop and an Apple TV. So, I mean, it's something that, it's a fun day for us. It's like Christmas in August.
Yeah, and the bottom line is at the end of the day, and everybody will come up to me and whoever else is there and just say the raffle was crazy, and whoever wins the Pebble Beach trip talks about it the next year. And they have a great time as well as the giveaway. And that's how we first started out with this. We felt that the initial giveaway when you first come to the outing would be important, and the raffle is the last thing you see when you leave at night. So we feel both ends of that's covered with our outing. We're going to continue to try to do as best we can for as long as we can.
I see guests walking out of there with 2 TVs each sometimes. I mean, that's how many great prizes that you have. And I think when people are coming to the event, a lot of the guys, they're bringing their truck with them because they're hoping that they're going to be filling it up with something on the way home.
Yeah, we buy a lot of different stuff from PC Richards, and just over the years, things have changed. Obviously, a lot of golf equipment, but Yeti coolers became big 4 or 5 years ago, and we know a lot of people are into that with their boats. We buy a lot of stuff for the houses because guys want to buy stuff or win stuff for their wives.
And PC Richards, they give you a discount, obviously, being 501c3. I think that's important to know.
Yeah, they give us a discount on stuff, which obviously helps us buy more buying power. Anything that comes out new that way electronically, we try to have on board, and we always seem to have one TV, every year that is a separate raffle
that you could just win with a $20 ticket.
Right. It's $20 ticket, but over the last 3 or 4 years, the TV's been like an 84-inch TV. TV's worth $4,000 or $5,000. It's just gifts like that you wouldn't even consider buying yourself. So if you win it, you're really excited about it, and I think that's what really keeps people coming back year after year.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm excited about 2020. There's always something new going on with the BAC Local 1 golf outing. I'm sure you're working on some great ideas to enhance and improve upon these great gifts and trips. Again, the pre-event raffle, he does 200 boxes, $100 a box. Top prize is $5,000. The 2 Pebble Beach trips, again, he only sells 150 tickets. So $100 raffle chance, you get 2 in 150 chance of winning a trip, and the trip is for 2 people.
Right.
And that's a $5,000 trip with airfare, and you could win it for $100, and you don't have to be present.
Correct.
Some great prizes, some great ways to give back. If you're affected by muscular dystrophy at all, or know anyone that is, or you want to get involved with a great golf outing with the Union, again, BAC Local 1 golf outing at Glen Oaks, August 10th. It's a great event, and one that you're going to be laughing and you're going to be crying as well when we give the Steubings their annual award. So anything else you want to talk about, Tony, as far as the golf outing is concerned in 2020? Anything you want to promote?
Just that we're looking forward to it again. And like I said, if anybody is interested in it, they're more than welcome to come. We start out early.
When do they really have to contact you by?
Usually stuff goes out the beginning of April, and I would think by the end of that month. Before Memorial Day, definitely.
In the show notes, we'll have Tony's contact information.
And also, too, if the golfing sold out, the venue's tremendous. The dinner tickets include the cocktail hour, which starts at 4:30 and wraps up about 8:30 at night, 9 o'clock at night, and consists of everything you could think of. So a lot of people do come for that as well and help us raise money that way. But again, we're just looking to continue to make it bigger and better. With your help, Larry, it's always been a great event. Once again, I can't thank our sponsors every year for helping us out continually. Everybody at BAC Local 1, President Sullivan, Secretary Treasurer Jack Argilla, and the rest of the golf committee and secretaries that help pull us off, because it's 1 day a year, but it's months and months of work. If you put the time in, it comes out right. We continue to try to make it better.
And I'm sure, this is something that Jerry really, really enjoys, giving back like this. It's something that I see him every year at the event. Just, he always has a moment with the family. I know it's near and dear to his heart.
Yeah, I think anybody who's a parent has to feel a moment when things are given out, or when you see how something could afflict a family and a child. So I think everybody's got a soft spot for that. I just think that day everybody enjoys themselves. It's a day away. It's in the middle of the summer, which is a really busy time for construction. But everybody puts it aside and they just enjoy the day and enjoy the memories. We have a lot of different things that we haven't even mentioned here. We have pictures taken all day. We have videos running all day. People look back. Everybody looks at how they looked 5-10 years ago.
Every year you have some type of photography package that you're giving away.
We didn't speak about it before, but I will. But one of the ideas that we came up with which really helped us with our charity raising money, is about 5-6 years ago, we actually instituted credit cards. Again, just another venue, another way to get more money in. Where
people could purchase credit cards the day of the event and before the event for any of these raffle items.
Right. And it's just another way to make it easier for people to get involved. Like I said, I think It's one of the better events on Long Island. I might be a little partial.
You are, and there's no doubt about it. That's right, in my opinion.
I look forward to having it every year, and I know all of us at BAC Local 1 do. We hope to see everybody out there again this year. Yeah, no, it's great. And again, it also supports the Union Scholarship Fund, as you mentioned, which is a great way that you're bringing it back to the BAC Local 1 to continue to grow and help people in the union. Yeah, and I just want to touch on that a little bit. Obviously, the scholarship is for any senior going to college, but if your parent or grandparent was a member of our local, you qualify for it. Again, we have that in March. Usually we do a presentation. People come in and do a presentation. Everybody who comes in usually gets at least a little something for books or something like that. But we give away a top prize of $10,000, a second prize of $5,000, and 4 $2,500 scholarships that are written to the university. Everybody knows how expensive colleges are. Again, all of our members at Local 1 are hardworking people, and it's difficult for them. So we hope that this helps a little bit. We're very proud of it. We're proud of the people, and the people who win it come with their parents or their grandparents that night, and they're very proud of it, and they put on tremendous presentations. Again, it's something that BAC started Local 1, and as we've improved the golf course and all the giveaways as well, we've also increased the scholarship prizes as well, and we look to continue to do that in the near coming future. That's great. It's a close fraternity. There's no doubt about it. It's great networking for all the businesses, and I'm sure that you probably see that in the union as guys are relying on each other and the relationships that they've forged at this event. Yeah, I mean, it's also two sides of a business. It's the union side and the contractor side, which at times could be difficult, but we're also friends with these people for 15 or 20 years and come to an event like this, and we all started out with young kids and whose kids graduate in college or whose kids got married. And again, it really has become a family event. We're very lucky to have the clientele we have. We don't take it for granted, and that's why we try to keep giving back to them. We know that they can put their money in several other places. We're just happy that we've been successful thus far, and we really want to keep going in the future. And with Golf Event Planning and Glen Oaks as our partners, I don't think there's any reason to not think we'll be just as successful in the coming years. Yeah, well, we appreciate that. And yes, this is a very successful event now, sold out, and every year raising more money and doing great things and helping MDA and the Union Scholarship Fund. Again, Tony, absolute pleasure. Please say hi to Jerry, Jack for us. Hopefully they'll be, at the golf outing this year. I know there was a conflict last year in the industry, but we should see them August 10th, Glen Oaks Country Club. We're proud to be working with you always, and like I said, you guys have become real close and good friends of ours through the years. So I can't thank you enough. No, thank you very much for having me. And Jerry and Jack will be there this year. Like you said, last year there was an election up for New York State that they had to be away from, and believe me, they missed it. They also look very forward to this day as we do. I appreciate you having me today and talking about the outing a little bit. Yeah, it's great. Okay, ciao for now.
Thank you for listening to the Fairways in Fundraising podcast, powered by Golf Event Planning. We hope you enjoyed this podcast, and please remember to subscribe, rate, and review.